What's going on, guys? Prosing Talk here, and back in. I'm sorry for this camera freezing all the time. The whole freezing thing, if it's still freezing, I'm sorry about this. I may have to buy a new webcam. So, on to WrestleMania 7. So we start off WrestleMania 7. Now, I've done this 3 times now, so I'm not going to do it another time. WrestleMania 7 starts off with the Rockers versus the Barbarians. It was a good match to open WrestleMania. I thought it was a good, solid match. You know, both teams did well. You know, both teams had the spots in the match, which was really good. The Rockers get the win with their double tag team finisher for the win. Then we got onto the Texas Tornado. The Texas Tornado versus Dino Bravo match. It was a short match, nothing to really talk about on this one. The Texas Tornado gets the win. And then we got a backstage segment with Mean Gene and the British Bulldog, and how he's talking about he's going to defeat the Warlord tonight, and how basically there's only one British Bulldog, and stuff like that. I thought it was a good promo, and then we get into the match. The match was about 8 minutes long, so it wasn't that long. The British Bulldog gets the win with the slam. Then we get Nasty Boys versus the Hart Foundation for the WWF Tag Team Championships. This was a really good match. I thought this was a really good match. If you say that match and the Rockers match was really good so far, because the other 2 matches were quite short. So that was good. You know, they had some good spots in the match, and the Nasty Boys get the win, and they are your new WWF Tag Team Champions. Then we had Jake the Snake Roberts versus Rick Martel. Before the match, they had this funny video package where they had this great video package of Jake the Snake Roberts. They had this surgery on his eye and he couldn't see again, and this points to this whole blind gimmick. And then this is where this match came from, of the blindfold match. Basically, it's your typical blindfold match. Jake the Snake got the win, and he hit Rick Martel with the DDT. Then we get the Undertaker. The Undertaker starts his the immortal streak brother. Yes, the streak begun at WrestleMania 7 against Jimmy Snuka. And I want to say about this, I always thought at the beginning of his streak, Undertaker streak, is they always give them like bad opponents. Now, if you get past Jimmy Snuka and you get past Jake Snake Roberts, I would say that was a pass. But after that, he had like WrestleMania now, which I'm going to do in a couple of days' time. They had him against fucking Giant Gonzalez. Was that his name? Fucking that big giant they had. They had against him, and then I think they put him up with Kevin Nash and fucking, oh god, I think I'm go through and watch that. Then after, so anyway, Taker gets the win with a tombstone. This was a good short match. Taker looked strong here. Then we had the Ultimate Warrior versus the Macho Man Randy Savage. Every time a match, oh yeah. And this was a really good match, probably the match of the night. Macho Man versus Savage in a retirement match. Whoever would also lose this match would have to retire. And the story behind it, I'll talk about it the match after, but this was a really good match. A lot of good counters, a lot of good high flying, the kickouts, the spot on. Like, match quality was really good, and I would say this was probably one of Warrior's best matches. I would say that, looking back at his run in WWF, I would say that this was his best match he had. I think Macho Man got the best out of the Ultimate Warrior here, and the ending becomes here where the Warrior hits his slam, and remember, Warrior's the face at this time, and Macho Man's the heel, and he's doing a King Macho Man. So he does his slam. Then after the match, Sensational Sherry, Macho Man's manager, comes out and she kicks him and says like, "Screw that, you're a loser." And then Miss Elizabeth, she comes out from the crowd, and then she reunites with the Macho Man after kicking Sensational Sherry. I will stop talking about Triple H now. But yeah, they had a great moment. The fans were crying. I was like, damn, that was a really good emotion. And you had just awesome. Then we had the generic Katsu, and we had another tag team match with Demolition versus Taku and Takiri or something like that. I hope I said the name right, so I don't know if I did. And Demolition lost their match, and then we had the Big Boss Man versus Mr. Perfect for the Intercontinental Championship. This was this was a solid match. I like the chemistry that they had. I think they had a good chemistry. Boss Man cut a good promo before the match saying that he's gonna do it for his mama, which I thought was funny. Then Boss Man wins, and then after that, because Boss Man wins by disqualification because Bobby Heenan tries to get involved, and Andre the Giant and him are brawling, and basically it's a no count out. It's a no disqualification, and then after that, you've got the Barbarians coming in, and they attack Boss Man, and then after that, Andre did come out, and then he clears them out, and then basically, he raises the Boss Man raises the Andre the Giant's hand, and then this was the time you could even see back then. This was '91. So 91, you could tell that Andre was looking really bad and looking really worn down and ill and not himself. Like, this was him 2 years later. He would unfortunately pass, but he was looking really sick and really bad at this point. Then we had the Legion of Doom versus the Powers of Glory, which is Hercules and Paul Romeo. Basically, it was a squash match. Demolition got the win. Not Demolition. The Legion of Doom got the win. Then we have Virgil versus Ted DiBiase. This was the time when they was pushing Virgil as the single star. They wanted him break away from Ted DiBiase and make himself a single star. Now they did this for a while. Hold on. Now they had this up for a year, I think, or they pushed Virgil for like a year, and they tried to make him like a mid-carder, like a top mid-carder, but it never worked because he always worked best with obviously Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase and him always worked better, and Virgil was never anybody without Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase made Virgil, get over the way he did, and when they split, nobody cared about Virgil. Okay, for a few weeks they did, leading up to this match for WrestleMania, but after that, nobody else cared for it. And then the year later, he would have a tag match, which I'll talk about later on. And then this match, Ted DiBiase, who got the win? Was it Ted DiBiase? Fuck, I can't remember. Yes, it was Virgil. Virgil got the win. It was an alright match. Then we have the Monty versus Tito Santana. It was a squash match, and then it was the main event. It was Hulk Hogan, brother. Main eventing, brother. Versus Sergeant Slaughter. And this was the time when Sergeant Slaughter came back from the war, and he came back and he was a heel. He aligned himself with the Iron Sheik, and he was anti-America this time, and this led to obviously Slaughter saying he doesn't like America, he's anti-America, and then Hogan comes up, and obviously Hogan challenges for a WWF Championship at WrestleMania. The match was typical Hogan and whatever, but at the end Hogan gets the win, and he's the new WWF champion. But overall, WrestleMania 7, I would say it was a good WrestleMania. I wouldn't say it was a bad WrestleMania. I love Taker. I loved how they kept Taker strong at WrestleMania 7. And he was, the force he was going to become many years later. I liked the Rockers opening match they had with the Barbarians. I also liked what was the match? The Hart Foundation match was good. The Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior match probably was one of the best matches of the night. And I also like Mr. Perfect versus Boss Man. I thought that was good as well. So overall, what do you guys think about this WrestleMania 7? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll check you guys later. Peace.